Sultan Muhammad II, better known as Sultan Muhammad Al-Fateh, the Conqueror, was one of the most brilliant and ambitious rulers in history. His story is one of vision, determination and unparalleled leadership that changed the course of world history. Born in 1432, Muhammad al-Fateh ascended the throne of the Ottoman Empire at the age of 19. His reign marked the turning point of the medieval era and the dawn of the Ottoman Empire's dominance. Early life and education. Muhammad al-Fateh was born to Sultan Murad II and his consort Huma Hatun in the city of Edirne, then known as Adrianople. From an early age he was groomed for leadership. His father, Sultan Murad, recognized his son's exceptional intellect and military potential. Thus, he ensured that Muhammad received the finest education, studying everything from science, philosophy, history, and literature to military strategy and warfare. Muhammad was deeply interested in the art of war and took a personal interest in understanding the cultures and histories of other empires, particularly the Byzantine Empire. The Byzantine Empire, with its capital in Constantinople, was a major rival of the Ottomans and stood as a powerful symbol of Christian Europe. Rise to power. When Muhammad al-Fateh ascended the throne in 1451, after his father's abdication, the Ottoman Empire was already a formidable power. However, the greatest challenge facing the empire was the conquest of Constantinople, the capital of the Byzantine Empire. The city had been an impenetrable fortress for centuries, a symbol of Christianity in the East. Despite the dwindling power of the Byzantine Empire, Constantinople remained a major obstacle to the Ottomans' expansion. Sultan Muhammad had been preparing for this moment for much of his life. He believed that the conquest of Constantinople was not only a military objective, but a divine mission. According to a hadith saying of Prophet Muhammad PBUH, "The city will be conquered by a man, and what a wonderful leader he will be." Muhammad al-Fateh knew that this prophecy referred to him, and he set his mind to the task of taking the city. The siege of Constantinople in 1453, at the age of 21, Sultan Muhammad al-Fateh laid siege to Constantinople. The Byzantine Empire, ruled by Emperor Constantine XI, was severely weakened and could not muster an army large enough to defend the city from the Ottomans. However, the city's fortifications were still among the strongest in the world. The siege of Constantinople began in April 1453, and it would become one of the most significant military campaigns in history. Sultan Muhammad assembled a massive army of over 800 soldiers, including elite janissaries, engineers and artillery experts. He also brought with him the largest and most advanced artillery pieces ever constructed at the time, including giant cannons capable of breaking through the thick walls of Constantinople. In addition to the cannons, the Ottomans also employed a clever strategy of building a bypass road to move their fleet of ships around the city's chain of defences, allowing them to strike from the sea. This innovative tactic surprised the defenders and ensured that no escape route remained. For weeks the siege continued. The defenders of Constantinople, though outnumbered and outgunned, fought valiantly, hoping for outside assistance. However, the Western powers, including the Pope, did little to help. The Byzantine Empire stood alone in its defense. The final assault. As the siege stretched on, the Byzantines began to lose hope. The walls of Constantinople, which had withstood many attacks in the past, began to show cracks under the relentless bombardment of the Ottoman cannons. Sultan Muhammad al-Fateh, a man of both faith and strategy, had already planned for the final assault. On May 29, 1453, after nearly 2 months of siege, Muhammad al-Fateh ordered a final all-out attack on the city. The Ottomans, with their artillery and infantry, launched a fierce assault on the walls. The Byzantine defenders fought with great courage, but they were overwhelmed by the sheer power and numbers of the Ottoman forces. As the Ottoman forces broke through the walls, Sultan Muhammad Al-Fateh led the final charge into the heart of the city. The defenders, exhausted and outmatched, had no choice but to surrender. Emperor Constantine XI, seeing the fall of his city, died heroically on the battlefield, fighting to the last breath. The fall of Constantinople. At the moment of victory, Sultan Muhammad Al-Fateh entered the city with dignity. The fall of Constantinople marked the end of the Byzantine Empire, which had lasted for over 1,000 years. Sultan Muhammad, recognizing the significance of this moment, ordered that the Hagia Sophia, the greatest church in the city, be converted into a mosque. He also showed mercy to the inhabitants of Constantinople, offering them the option to stay or leave the city in peace. The conquest of Constantinople was a turning point in history. It marked the end of Christian rule in the Eastern Mediterranean and paved the way for the Ottomans to become one of the most powerful empires in history. Sultan Muhammad Al-Fateh's vision and military genius ensured that the Ottoman Empire would become a dominant power for centuries to come. The legacy of Sultan Muhammad Al-Fateh's victory over Constantinople was not just a military triumph, but also a cultural and political one. Under his rule, the city was transformed into a vibrant center of trade, culture, and intellectual activity, becoming known as Istanbul, the heart of the Ottoman Empire. He welcomed scholars, scientists, and artists from all over the world, fostering a golden age of culture and learning. Muhammad Al-Fateh's legacy extended far beyond his military accomplishments. He united much of the Balkans, Anatolia, and the Eastern Mediterranean under Ottoman rule, laying the foundation for one of the largest empires in history, which would last until the early 20th century. He was also known for his deep faith and commitment to justice. He was a just and fair ruler, known for his ability to govern with both wisdom and compassion. Sultan Muhammad Al-Fateh's reign was characterized by a vision of unity, blending Islamic and Byzantine cultures, and his conquest of Constantinople is still remembered as one of the most important events in world history. Conclusion: Sultan Muhammad Al-Fateh, the Conqueror, remains a towering figure in Islamic history. His military brilliance, strategic foresight, and unwavering faith turned him into one of the greatest rulers the world has ever seen. The fall of Constantinople was not only the end of an era, but also the beginning of a new chapter for the Ottomans, with Sultan Muhammad Al-Fateh at the helm, leading his empire to unparalleled heights of power and influence.